Donald Trump's FCC Chairman Ajit Pai is preparing for an all-out assault on net neutrality. Now, he's given us many signals and has indicated that he will in fact be moving to repeal the FCC's current net neutrality rules. And he just did it again. So The Verge lays it out for us. FCC Chairman Ajit Pai said today that net neutrality was a mistake and that the Commission is now on track to return to a much lighter style of regulation. Our new approach injected tremendous uncertainty into the broadband market, Pai said during a speech at Mobile World Congress this afternoon. And uncertainty is the enemy of growth. Pai has long been opposed to net neutrality and voted against the proposal when it came up in 2015. While he hasn't specifically stated that he plans to reverse the order now that he's chairman, today's speech suggests pretty clearly that he's aiming to. Today, the torch at the FCC has been passed to a new generation dedicated to renewal as well as change, Pai said. We are confident in the decades-long cross-party consensus on light-touch internet regulation, and we are on track to returning to that successful approach. Pai's argument is that internet providers were doing just fine under the old rules and that the new ones have hurt investment. Both of those points are highly debatable. There's little competition in the wired broadband market, and consumerists investigated the investment claims in early 2016 and found that internet providers were estimated to spend more in the coming year. Pai has been chairman of the commission for just over a month now, and in that time, he's already begun chipping away at net neutrality in a few different ways, approving zero rating, scaling back transparency rules, proposing to halt major new privacy requirements. After his speech today, it's evident that Pai is just getting started. So this is a guy who's brazen in his willingness to lie to the American people. He said that, we were doing just fine under the old rules. Netflix was under threat from Comcast. Comcast literally tried to kill Netflix in 2014 because they don't like Netflix because Netflix threatens the business of Comcast because people are cutting the cord and millions of people are migrating towards this Netflix model of business, and Comcast doesn't like it. So in 2014, all of a sudden, those of you who watch Netflix started to realize that the bandwidth was slowing down to any show that you tried to watch. You'd see the buffering symbol. Well, why is that? Well, it's because Comcast was throttling Netflix bandwidth, and they were trying to kill off Netflix. So if you call that doing just fine, then you're clueless. But he knows it wasn't fine. He's a pro-business person. Ajit Pai was a lawyer for Verizon Wireless. So this is an individual that came from the industry that represents the industry, hence why the industry loves Ajit Pai. Now he claims here, I want to go back to this statement. He says that the old rules were better for investment and the new rules hurt investment. That is completely false, because if you allow Comcast to throttle the bandwidth to new startup companies, that's horrible for investment, that's terrible for innovation. A company who's getting started that threatens the business model of Comcast, like Netflix, well, if Netflix decides, well, you know what, we're going to charge them this exorbitant fee if they want traffic to be smooth to their website, they can kill that company off immediately. They can say, you know what, I don't like that the Humanist Report is criticizing Comcast. How about we charge the Humanist Report $1 million to get traffic to be smoothly flowing to his website again? What he's speaking in is Orwellian terms. He's lying to the American people. He's trying to make it seem as though, if we get government out of the internet, then that's where we'll have more freedom. But you're allowing the government to step away and you're allowing for corporate control of the internet, which is a worse scenario than the government regulating the internet. Now, if that wasn't bad enough, Ajit Pai recently blocked a proposal that would have subjected Comcast and Verizon to more stringent data privacy rules. So he's allowing them to not only do what they want, he's allowing for corporate fascism, but he's allowing them to not handle our data in a more safe manner. Who would be against that? Who's against these types of things? Someone who's a shill for the industry, someone who's looking out for the profits of the industry because this individual came from within the industry. Ajit Pai is corrupt, and the fact that he worked for Verizon as a lawyer for Verizon sets up a conflict of interest, hence why he's looking out for Verizon and Comcast and the broadband providers that want to screw over the American people. It's sickening. This is corruption, and look, here's the thing. I want Ajit to hear me out loud and clear. If you mess with the internet, this is war. This will be the biggest battle that you will ever face because, again, we got someone worse than you last time. Obama appointed a Comcast lobbyist to be the FCC chairman, and the first thing he tried to do was repeal net neutrality. He tried to allow Comcast to do what they want, to kill off companies, to strangle the bandwidth and throttle the bandwidth by creating fast lanes. And guess what happened? He not only backed down, he became an ally because we showed up to his house to protest. We flooded the FCC with millions of calls every single month as they were allowing this period for questioning, or public feedback, that is. So I would like to see you try this, Ajit, because it's not going to be a nice battle for you. You will be damaged politically. Your career will be over if you try to touch the internet. So try it. I dare you. And just know that the grassroots resistance that you will face will be overwhelming to where we're not just going to stop you from curtailing our current net neutrality rules. We're going to make you resign. Trust me. So Ajit Pai is not going to get away with his pro-corporate agenda. The American people will stop him, and grassroots activists will win at the end of the day because we live in a democracy, not a corporatocracy.
Support this podcast by joining the independent progressive media revolution today at humanistreport.com.